Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. It's Tristen here from Tristen Trip Reviews at Colombo, Bandaranaike International Airport in Sri Lanka. Today I will be flying Malaysian Airlines in business class all the way to Kuala Lumpur on their Boeing 737-800. The flight will be 4 hours long, and let's see how this goes. When flying business class out of Colombo with Malaysia Airlines, your journey starts here at the Araliya Lounge, a shared space also used by premium passengers from other airlines like Singapore Airlines and a handful of others. So before you even enter the aircraft, this is where your journey begins. Stepping inside, the lounge offers a solid experience. You got a wide spread of food, desserts and beverages, both alcoholic and non-alcoholic, all available on a self-serve basis, so you can really just help yourself and relax before your flight. Seating wise, there's plenty of space to spread out, whether you want to get some work done or just unwind. And if you're traveling with your family, there's even a small play area to keep kids entertained, which is always a nice touch. I ended up meeting a fellow travel enthusiast, and we chatted right up until it was time to head to the gate, an hour very well spent. We spoke about aircraft, airlines and all things aviation. As it turned out, he was flying on SQ469 off to Singapore on Singapore Airlines, which was scheduled to depart almost parallel to my own flight. Keep in mind, if you want the full business class experience, it might be worth to board a little later. Sri Lanka conducts additional security screening at the gate itself, and unfortunately there's no express lane for premium passengers, so everyone will just queue together. The aircraft that I'll be flying today is the Boeing 737-800. Malaysia Airlines has around 38 of these aircrafts in its fleet, alongside 18 of the newer MAX 8s, which I'm yet to try myself. Today's aircraft features the airline's standard configuration with a 2x2 recliner layout in business class and a 3x3 arrangement in economy. The aircraft operating today's flight carries the registration 9 Mike X-Ray Hotel, and at the time of publishing this video, she's approaching 15 years of service. And this time, I decided to pick the very first row, seat 1 Alpha, a bulkhead seat at the very front of the cabin. As this flight departs at midnight, blankets were provided to keep passengers comfortable throughout the journey. The seat offers a large headrest, a decent amount of recline, and generous storage space for keeping your essentials within easy reach. Enough to stay comfortable for this journey. But wait, there's one thing missing: entertainment screens. Don't worry though, I'll explain why that is a little later in the video. As usual, I went with my go-to choice of welcome drink, apple juice. And as always, I appreciated the refreshing hot towel offered before departure. And now, with everything set, the aircraft is ready, the doors are closed, and we are commencing pushback for the runway. I'll let you sit back, relax, and enjoy the taxi and takeoff. For those who don't know me, welcome to my channel, Tristen Trip Reviews. I'm Tristen. As a passionate flight influencer, I'm dedicated to providing honest, transparent insights into various modes of travel, with a special focus on the flight travel industry. Every review I share is 100% self-funded, ensuring that the opinions you hear are genuinely mine. Join me as I uncover the highs and lows of travel to help you make better informed decisions for your next adventure. And now to the review. Hey, you seem to be enjoying the video, so why not hit subscribe and turn on notifications? It really helps the channel out and genuinely makes me happy. Plus, you'll be officially part of the Tristen Trip Reviews family, where we explore more flights, more cabins and more honest reviews together. Come on, join the journey. Let's take a look at the menu for this flight. This page contains both the menu from the previous flight as well as today's selection. Personally, I prefer the menu from the earlier flight, especially the dessert option, as I'm quite a fan of cheesecake. One thing that remains consistent across both flights is the option to order Malaysia Airlines signature Satay, available with a choice of chicken, beef or lamb. And here's a look at the beverage selection, which on this particular flight consisted exclusively of non-alcoholic options. As I wait for my satay to arrive, let's put entertainment aside for just a little while longer. We'll properly talk about it after we've eaten, but for now, here's a little bit of foreshadowing. And another clue. Figured it out? Not yet? Trust me, the food is the highlight of this flight. We start things off with some salted peanuts, accompanied by my second apple juice for this flight, sticking with what works best. And here they are, what I'd been looking forward to for quite some time. Malaysia Airlines signature Satay, served as the starter dish, and now it's time to indulge. I decided to order both the beef and the chicken options. I did ask if the lamb was available, but unfortunately on this particular flight they had run out. Now, for the main course, or perhaps I should say main course number 1. The meal I had originally selected from the menu, fried noodles with chicken strips. I'm happy to say it was pretty good. But then, here comes meal number 2. To explain that, there was a small mix-up with the catering, and as a result, I was offered this second meal, which of course, I wasn't gonna turn down. And if you're wondering whether this is some secret menu option, no, not quite. The rice dish actually came from economy class. So this ended up being an interesting opportunity to compare how both meals stack up side by side. One remark I do have about the legroom is that while my knees don't actually touch the wall in this bulkhead seat, it still feels crammed. The main issue comes from the board in front, which limits where I can place my feet and forces my legs into a slightly awkward position. Unfortunately, that did impact comfort quite noticeably throughout the flight. Now for the big question, the one I said I'd answer later in the video. The entertainment. Well, Malaysia Airlines takes a different approach to entertainment on its 737 fleet. Instead of traditional seatback screens, passengers can use their own personal devices to access the onboard entertainment system. The airline provides onboard Wi-Fi connectivity along with a dedicated website that allows you to stream content directly to your phone, tablet or laptop. The selection of movies is fairly decent, and so is the streaming quality. As you can see, I settled for Black Phone 2. However, I ended up not watching it all the way through. In fact, I barely made it past the beginning. Why? Well, it was already around 2 in the morning back in Sri Lanka, and at that point, sleep was definitely winning the battle. Welcome to Kuala Lumpur International Airport, Malaysia. The local time is 6:50 in the morning and here I am. There's something I haven't shared until now, and it's that Malaysia is where I'll be based for the next few years. You'll be seeing plenty more departures from Kuala Lumpur moving forward. Colombo isn't going anywhere either. You'd still be seeing plenty of trips back there too. Alright, sentimental moment aside, it's time we review this flight using my calculated scoring system, Tristen's SkyScore. let's get to it. Business class flights are assessed using 6 metrics: ground service, lounge, service on board the aircraft, seat catering, and in-flight entertainment. Starting with the ground service. Last minute, I thought to myself, this is a milestone worth remembering, so I decided to upgrade myself to business class. The upgrade process through the website was simple and seamless, and from a check-in perspective, everything was smooth and efficient too. Nothing extraordinary in particular, but equally nothing to complain about either. Therefore, ground service receives an 8 out of 10. Next comes the lounge. As you saw earlier, Malaysia Airlines facilitates its business class passengers at the Araliya Lounge in Bandaranaike International Airport, Colombo. The lounge offered ample seating, maintained good cleanliness standards, and featured a solid spread of food and beverages, making it a pleasant space to spend some time before departure. As a result, the lounge earns an 8 out of 10. Next comes service on board the aircraft. Now keep in mind, this is a business class review. Service is assessed more strictly compared to some of the other categories. Looking at the onboard service, one flight attendant primarily handled my requests throughout the flight, from taking my meal order, bringing my food, to assisting me with placing my carry-on into the overhead compartment. Basic expectations for business class, yes. But what stood out was the consistency. She remembered details, attended promptly whenever needed, and maintained attentive service throughout the journey. Even after landing, my carry-on was handed back to me from the overhead compartment without me having to ask. Small touches perhaps, but they do contribute to the overall experience. The service on board was solid and reliable, earning a 7 out of 10. Next comes the seat. Looking at the seat overall, it was reasonably comfortable, but the legroom was where things started to fall apart for me. Due to the footwell area and the space constraints, my legs had to remain slightly bent in a somewhat awkward position throughout the flight. Personally, that wasn't my forte. But to its credit, the seat itself had a well-designed layout, a comfortable headrest, and overall decent ergonomics. However, the legroom issue significantly affected the experience and ended up being the main factor pulling down this score. Given that I'm 5 foot 11 inches or approximately 180 centimeters, I felt the space should have been more accommodating. As a result, the seat earns a 6 out of 10. We now move into catering, and right off the bat, I have to say the satays were genuinely quite good, and so was the main course. For this score, I won't be factoring in the economy class meal that I happened to receive as part of the earlier mix-up, as this is ultimately a business class assessment. Looking at the business class offering as a whole, the meal left me reasonably satisfied overall. That said, I do think there's room for improvement. A wider dessert selection would have been appreciated rather than relying solely on fruits, and having additional meat choices available such as lamb on this flight would have elevated the experience further. All things considered, the food was enjoyable and delivered well, earning catering a 7 out of 10. Finally, we move into in-flight entertainment, and by now, you can probably already see where this is heading. More and more airlines are moving towards this bring your own device model, where entertainment is streamed directly onto your personal phone, tablet or laptop. Now for someone like me, who grew up flying with traditional seatback entertainment systems, I'll admit, I still prefer the more conventional approach. When I step onto an aircraft, I personally do not want to rely on my phone or MacBook for entertainment. It feels slightly less convenient. And especially on longer flights, I find dedicated seatback screens provide a far better experience. To Malaysia Airlines' credit, the content selection itself is actually quite decent, and I was reasonably satisfied with the spread of movies available. However, when compared against some of the stronger entertainment systems offered elsewhere in the industry, this setup simply doesn't match the same level of convenience or overall experience. This concludes the in-flight entertainment category, which earns a 6 out of 10. Now have a look at the score summary. And now, with all categories assessed, the final score for Malaysia Airlines business class flying from Colombo to Kuala Lumpur aboard their Boeing 737-800 earns a 7 out of 10. But now, did I enjoy the flight? Should you fly Malaysia Airlines? And perhaps the biggest question of all, is business class worth paying the premium for? For this flight, I paid 1,150 Malaysian ringgit plus an upgrade fee of 1,040 Malaysian ringgit, bringing the total to 2,190 Malaysian ringgit, or approximately $550. The big question is, was it worth it? I'll leave that for you to tell me down in the comments below. As for whether I'd fly this product again, absolutely. I think Malaysia Airlines offers a decent, well-priced business class product that delivers solid value for what you pay. However, personally, I wouldn't choose this particular setup for flights much beyond the 5-hour mark, mainly due to the seat comfort and entertainment setup. But overall, a respectable experience, and certainly one I'd be happy to fly again. And with that, welcome to Kuala Lumpur Terminal 1. We've officially reached the end of today's video. Thank you so much for sticking around till the end. It genuinely means the world to me. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to subscribe for more honest aviation and travel content like this one. And if there's anywhere you'd like to see me fly next, or if you have any thoughts on today's journey, let me know down in the comments below. I always enjoy reading what you have to say. And until I see you next, stay amazing. Bye for now.